What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Titletown Podcast, the best Boston sports talk show. I'm with Mikey. Now, first, before we start, we want to give our sponsor for this podcast, which is Patriots_Nation. Really cool Instagram, up to date with all the news, injuries, transactions, and it gives like live game updates. So let's say if you're on Instagram, you want to check the score, they'll post like everything that happens, which is pretty dope. So definitely check them out. I'm here with Mike. How you doing today, Mikey?
Doing well, ready to dive into this game that we just had. Really happy that the Patriots pulled this out. It was a must-win game for the boys.
Yeah, so let's dive right into it. What are your just raw reactions from Monday night's performance, the 30-27 win?
I am happy that they got the job done. I don't know if it was a tank effort by the Jets. There definitely were instances where I was questioning whether or not they're trying to throw this game, lining up 12 men on the field on a 4th and 5, airing it out with Joe Flacco on 1st and 10, just throwing a pick for no reason late in the game. Just very questionable decisions. I still not buying like completely that they tanked that game, but there were moments where I was like, are they tanking this? But I think they wanted to beat New England, and unfortunately they couldn't get it done. Really happy Cam got the win. He's my guy. I've always been a supporter of his, and he needed that one. I don't care if he would have beaten like the high school football team like across the street. Like, it doesn't matter. He needs like the confidence. He needed that win so bad, and to do it in that fashion in the fourth quarter, come back and just get that final drive and finish it off with a Nick Folk field goal. Those are never sure things. So really happy they got the job done, and we'll see if they can continue this streak against Baltimore. What do you think?
So do you remember that interception was that play action in Flacco? It was late in the game. He tried to go deep and was picked by JC. Did that play remind you of
that.
Drew Lock's interception against us? Remember he threw like that same pass
yeah.
late. Like, it's like all you got to do is run it out. You have the lead, and he tried to like air it deep. That was the exact same play, except it was JC instead of Jonathan Jones. And I got to tell you, this is exactly what I remember from the Broncos game. We had a chance to win late. It didn't work out for us back then. But today, I mean, yes, it's Jets. I would consider the Jets a worse team than the Broncos. But it's just good to have a chance to win and actually cash in and win the game. Like, that was a heartbreak against the Bills. We should have won against the Broncos. I don't care the level of competition. On Monday Night Football in New York, that was just a great win. I'm surprised. I got to tell you, I did not think Folk was going to hit that 51-yarder. I think like anything over 45, it's like, oh, it's just a shank right or shank left.
Dude, I'm surprised they didn't ice him. They had a timeout to ice him.
I thought they were going to
ice him. Didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think, like, listen, if you're the Jets, you go 1-8. It's like, like you're still not going to go anywhere. Might as well get the first overall pick, go 0-9. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think they thought they could win, and then once they were ahead, they're like, oh, wait a minute, like, is it smart to win this game? But yeah, I'm guarantee you they tried. I mean, it's a sport. Their hearts were on the line, just like ours were. Yeah. Tell me your biggest, like, who are you most surprised about in this Monday night game?
Dude, I'm surprised how bad J.C. Jackson is. I don't know if it's because he's so much better when Gilmore takes the number one option. He is so bad. I think I have some statistics I'd like to share. This guy, in the 2 games without a Gilmore in, he's allowed 9 completions on 16 targets, 182 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was terrible that game. He had that slip that gave up a touchdown. I mean, he saved his stock with that interception, but he has not been able to cover anybody. Rashad Perriman, go get it. Denzel Mims, doesn't matter. Everyone's having a great game against this guy. And I'm just I really realized how badly we missed Gilmore. And Gilmore's not even having a great year himself. He's having a pretty down year as well. Not what we saw in the previous year, but this guy is just – the Patriots defense as a whole has not been great. I can't believe they gave up 27 points. And the one part of the defense that I thought was good, the secondary, was just letting Joe Flacco have one of the best games I've ever seen him play. This guy was dotting them up left and right, and I think it could have gotten even more uglier, honestly. But, yeah, that was my, biggest takeaway. I just can't believe the defense played so poorly and, put us in a position where Cam Newton had to, drive down the field like that, and it's just unacceptable. We were dominating time of possession. Just the offense was moving the ball great, but on the other end, it's the defense is giving up 1-minute drills to Joe Flacco, easy touchdown. It's just unacceptable. What about you?
You know, I have to say to that, you might not like J.C. Jackson, but I love J.C. Jackson. No, but honestly, you know that thing in basketball? It's like, oh, if you're not shooting well, you just gotta forget it and just keep going, like shoot with confidence. That's J.C. Jackson. Yes, he had that slip. Yes, he allowed all those yards, and he really allowed 2 touchdowns that game. I mean, that was a great interception late in the game. That's his 4th straight game with an interception. That's a good
That was
stat.
good.
I like J.C. Jackson a lot. I think he's a great physical corner. He can press. He's a young kid with tons of upside. He's like an 85 in Madden, which is pretty good. Like, he's a good player. He's a young player. And there's a reason why the rumors were even out about us shopping Gilmore's, because Belichick's impressed with our young corners, and he thinks, oh, we can probably hold the fort without him. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to defend those 2 touchdowns he gave up against pretty bad receivers. There's no, like, that's not good. But I mean, that interception, like, without that, we wouldn't have been able to come back in that game. Yeah, he made up for it a little bit. Yeah. So I gotta say, Jacoby Myers was easily the takeaway. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna say Jacoby Myers. How many yards did he have? Like 160. He had a lot of yards. And with the lack of talent at our receiving core, him stepping up in a game like last night, that was huge. I mean, Cam needs someone. Jameer Bird on a 10-yard hitch isn't going to get you anywhere. You need, like, Jacoby Myers. Like, there's a reason why Brady liked him in last preseason. I always liked the way he ran his routes. He looks like Tyler Lockett, but doesn't play like him. But like he just finds open seams. He's good against zones. He's a smart player. He has good hands. And I mean, yes, the Jets secondary is pretty abysmal, but him 160 yards. I don't care who you are, and at an NFL level, you got to take that into consideration. That's impressive. So it's good to see Cam Newton get in rhythm, get in sync with one of his receivers, with Edelman out. And Jameer Bird, I don't care like how many catches he has, he should not be on the team. He's a bad receiver. Like, he should be like your 4th or 5th option. He's fast. I give it to him. He has the biggest burners on the team. He had that great catch late where he tried to dive for the pylon and stepped out of bounds. Yeah, but dude, like, in big moments, he's in man coverage. He's not going to get you separation. It's just the name of the game.
He's not that talented. But yeah.
I'm the biggest takeaway. Jacoby Myers kind of hinting at being Cam's like go-to target. At least it was yesterday. I don't hate it. I think it's good. I like to see him get open and get all these yards. He's a good young player, and I think sky's the limit really for him. What do you think? Any other players that impressed you?
Yeah, I also want to touch on Jacoby Myers. I had like a breakdown of his 12 catches for 169 yards. So he beat man coverage 7 times for 103 yards and beat zone coverage 5 times for 66 yards. He also caught 9 balls for 119 yards from the slot and 3 for 50 yards out wide. So, like, he was lining up all over the place, facing all sorts of different coverages. Kind of, like, reminded me of, like, Edelman. Like, he was, like, finding, like, the soft spots, especially on, like, his final, like, 2 or 3 catches. He was just, like, perfectly found, like, the soft spot and just, like, easily made the grab. And I don't know. I'm really impressed with this kid, and I think he is the clear number 1 receiver that New England has, which is pretty crazy to think about. But I think
pretty crazy to say.
He can develop into a really good player, and I'm shocked they weren't utilizing him earlier in the year. But, yeah. I also want to touch on Cam Newton. I like Cam Newton. He came back. This is, like, his 2nd week. I felt like he played good. I'm counting, like, the Buffalo, like, fumble was a little shaky, but other than that, I think he played well 2 games in a row. And I know, like, some people were giving up on them. Our boy Chase says, tweeted out in the 2nd quarter, I'm over Cam Newton. Man has no fire. Looks like he doesn't even want to play. Prove me wrong. Well, he did prove me wrong. Yeah, that's a freezing cold take. Cam Newton was lights out in the end, and he did what he had to do, both on the ground and passing. There was, like, at times his footwork was a little off. He, like, missed, I think it was Bird or Myers on an RPO. That was pretty easy. So he's, like, still not getting his feet set at certain moments. And I'm not sure if he's 100% healthy as well. I feel like he's still running a bit slower, doesn't have that step that he used to. But overall, impressed with his play and really fortunate he clutched that one out.
Yeah, it's good to see him. You can see him after the game. He was pretty happy. And, like, in that post-game interview, he's an emotional guy. We all know that. But, I mean, the last couple of games, they were pretty heartbreaking losses. So it's good to see him, have a good game. I think, didn't he hit his first, like, 9 or, like, 11 passes? He started off pretty decent. I like to see him air him out more because we all know when it comes to, like, the red zone, like, inside the 5-yard line, he's going to keep it. He's going to go, like, quarterback power to the right or left or up the middle. But it's good to see him air him out and get some chemistry with some guys. Down the stretch, I would definitely like to see better situational play. I mean, last night was a great example of good situational play, getting the ball late, 27-27, and that throw to Jacoby Myers late, that was a really nice throw after that holding penalty. So you're backed up 2nd and 20. That was great situational play. You went for the spike. You didn't call the timeout. You would have had like 18 seconds if you called the timeout. You spiked it with 8 seconds. You can go anywhere you want on the field knowing you have a timeout. And Jacoby Myers found the soft spot and Cam delivered a nice ball. The one thing I do not like about Cam Newton, I think you would agree with me, you want to see him improve on this, is I want to see more touch on his throws. He misses high a lot. And when he's not comfortable, when his feet are moving and he's not setting his feet, he misses high and wide a lot, which I do not like to see, especially like when you're going to like in the middle of the field, because you all know if it's high and behind him, it's a pick. If it's even tipped up, let's say your receiver tries to go up and get it, tips it up, that's the worst. That's like easy interception for people just sitting there. But yeah, I definitely like Cam Newton's performance. It's definitely a step in the right direction. And the good thing about it was we didn't really turn the ball over. That's the name of the game. I mean, knowing our defense isn't playing as it was last year, we're missing all these guys because of COVID who they've opted out. And we gotta play a smart game. We can't turn the ball over, and we have to be better situationally, which I think you could agree on this. On a Belichick run team, it's already pretty good, no matter who's on the field situationally. So yeah, it was great to see. Next week, any predictions? I know it's really early in the week. There could be news coming out about like, you never know, like in COVID 2020, not anything can happen. What are your opinions on the Patriots schedule coming up?
Yeah, I mean, Ravens is obviously going to be a tough matchup. They haven't been playing that great, but they're still like a much better team, I feel. So I'd probably give them the edge. I think the game's in Baltimore as well. So I think they're going to be probably touchdown favorites against the Patriots, but I'm optimistic it could be a close game. I'm hoping it will be. And Baltimore has been a little shaky at times this year, and Lamar Jackson's not playing great. So I think they could devise a plan. I know last year he killed New England on that regular season game. But hopefully we can come up with something, maybe force him to throw the ball, limit his opportunities to keep it on the ground, and see how that goes. We'll see. I think Damon Harris got hurt at the end of the game, so that would be a big loss if he doesn't play as well. He's I feel like the best down the field runner that we have. So definitely want him to be out there, and he's a huge piece of that offense. So as of right now, I'm leaning Baltimore, but I think it'll be a close game.
Yeah, I think it would be I can't really pick New England to win. I mean, Ravens are a much more talented team. They added more depth defensively with Ngakoue. So we're at different points right now. I mean, the Ravens you could consider them borderline Super Bowl contenders. Definitely last year, consider them Super Bowl favorites. But this is a game that, listen, they're a great team. I'm not a big John Harbaugh guy just because of the rivalry in the past. But yeah, I want to see good effort. I want to see heart. JC Jackson was a great example of heart. Stuff doesn't go his way and he comes back, he makes a good play. The Patriots are gonna have to do that. Just the roster, the talent we have at our disposal, we need some heart. We just need to put it out on the field. It's hinting at Damian Harris. He's a hard runner. He puts his nose down. He moves his feet. He lowers the shoulder, absorbs some hits. But I think you realize this too. If you watch closely, this is the second game in a row where I saw him go to the outside on a toss or a stretch, and then he doesn't see a guy coming. He just gets hit. I think you saw that last week too. He hurt his shoulder this week. You didn't see the guy just run downhill right in front of him and just hit him.
Ran right into him. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously I don't know what
good.
It is.
Still good. Rexburg had played well too. He was running hard. Dude. He was good.
I would take him any day over Michelle. Michelle is the biggest, besides that amazing game he had against the Chargers in the divisional round, a couple years ago, he's pretty inconsistent. But yeah, I love our running back committee. I think it's great. And that's the one thing we have going for us is a good offensive line. We have Cam.
I was wondering what the news update what Edelman was. Is he supposed to be back yet? Or I think he was supposed to be out for 3 weeks or something like that.
I'm assuming he's still questionable. Probably.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play him. To be honest, I wouldn't play him, and I feel like he's a healthy Edelman is really, really good, but when he's 50%, 60%, you can tell, and he's in pain when he's out there. It's not, but this is a game we need to win. The Ravens, imagine if we beat Baltimore, that's a huge stride in the right direction. That would be insane. We would keep our season alive basically. And I checked, I remember I saw a stat. It's we have I think it was 26% chance of making the playoffs. If we beat Baltimore, which I'm not expecting us to do, but if we do, that's huge locker room energy booster. So, you just got to go in with no fear. Just, put it all on the line. Don't turn the ball over. Just be smart. And you have a chance to win. Ravens aren't they didn't look particularly well against Indy. They didn't look. Lamar's having a pretty his sophomore year. He's not looking that good. So if there's a time to beat this team, it's right now. Yeah,
agreed.
If there's time to beat that team, it's right now. Yeah. So
there's definitely a chance.
any bold predictions? This is the last segment we're going to do real quick. Any bold predictions for this week or next game?
Bold prediction. I have a bold prediction for Boston College. I think they upset Notre Dame. Notre Dame's riding high after beating Clemson. I think BC upsets them. Red bandana game this week, and I think they get it done. Their quarterback is a revenge game. He transferred from Notre Dame, so that's my primary hot take. But from an NFL standpoint, talking Patriots football, I'm gonna go. Demir Bird is gonna be the leading receiver next week, just for you, the Patriots. So.
Demir Bird. Yeah. I'm gonna go. Cam Newton has 2+ passing touchdowns, and it sounds like weak. It's like, wait a second, 2 pass touching. Like Mahomes gets like 4 to 5 every week. Cam Newton, when was the last game you threw a passing touchdown? It's been like 4 games.
He has like, right? There was like a stat. He had 0 to receivers. I think all year. I think all of his touchdowns were to like backs, maybe.
Yeah,
I had like
it's
a crazy
him keeping
stat.
it.
Yeah, but he has 3 total touchdowns. I think this year. Passing, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's like 4.
Yeah.
So against Baltimore, against Marlon Humphrey, who I don't think he played. Marcus Peters with a great pass rush. I say he airs it out twice. I don't know to who. Probably Ryan Izzo.
He sucks. He's so bad.
I'm not. Our tight ends are pretty bad. But airing it out at Baltimore, 2+ touchdowns. That's my bold take. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed the podcast. Thanks again to Patriots Nation for shouting us out on our stories. So if you're coming from there, I'm welcome. I'm glad you guys are enjoying these. And enjoy the games this week. We'll see you guys with other Boston sports news probably tomorrow or Thursday. So, yeah, see you guys later.
See ya. Go Patriots.